I'm going to read you James's letter now. My blood ran cold when I read it. Things were tough at work. Issues with imports, payment delays from suppliers, bonuses got slashed hard, and my salary barely covered the essentials. Fruit, food, diapers, toys for our son, the car loan for my wife's vehicle. My wife was on maternity leave, not working, and had no plans to go back to the office. The problems with my wife started about 3 years into the marriage, completely out of the blue for me. Our son had just turned 2. Suddenly at home, I started hearing clear complaints and dissatisfaction aimed at me. I wasn't helping enough. It was hard on her. We hardly ever went on vacation. We needed to get away at least once or twice a month on weekends to a resort hotel with a pool and restaurant, just to unwind. For the first time, my wife called me hurtful names, like cheapskate and penny pincher, and said that when she married me, she expected more. At work, they kept promising salary increases but dragging their feet. For our son's 3rd birthday, my wife wanted a big party at a restaurant with a buffet, champagne, invite her friends with their kids, hire magicians and animators and costume characters, and top it all off with fireworks and a kids' disco. She had some pretty extravagant ideas. I called the restaurant. They gave me a quote, and it was way too expensive, considering the car loan and other expenses. Plus, my wife had started some classes. I crunched the numbers and realized we'd go deep into the red. I honestly told her we couldn't afford it and suggested an alternative. Celebrate at home with fewer people. I'd make bubble shows myself, set up music, help cook. She was furious. That didn't fly with her. We argued. She accused me of skimping on our son's childhood memories. The childhood only happens once, and she never had one herself. I tried to object, but she completely shut down, ignored me for days, acted like I didn't exist, stopped cooking. I'd come home and fix my own meals. I was lost, didn't know what to do, and on a coworker's advice, I decided to see a therapist. I wanted to find a way to fix things, save the marriage, restore communication with my wife. I found videos from this woman with psychology credentials, lots of followers, positive reviews. She seemed compassionate and genuine. We messaged, and she suggested weekly sessions. I remember our first meeting clearly, how our conversation started. She said arguments are good, that we're grinding against each other like pebbles, smoothing out to become one, that every normal family has fights. When I asked what to do to reconnect with my wife, she offered her own method with a 100% guarantee. It would restore understanding, break down the wall between us, reopen dialogue. What was the method? Here's what I did. I texted my wife, agreeing that our child's birthday party was truly important, that I respected her wish as a mom to make it memorable, and admitted that due to work issues, I couldn't afford the level she wanted. I apologized, said I was solely to blame, and that I'd find a solution. At the end, I added that I loved her deeply, loved our son, and we'd overcome all our differences. The text worked, she replied. I was over the moon. I immediately told the therapist. She said her method always works with a 100% guarantee, warned that since my wife opened up, new arguments might come, and in those, I needed to be as patient as possible and praise her for staying calm. I felt like I wasn't alone anymore, like I had a defender, someone who'd always give the right advice, a smart method. I was happy with this woman and her help. That evening I bought flowers, ordered takeout, got home early from work, bathed our son, put him to bed. We sat in the kitchen and talked. She reiterated how important it was for our son to grow up happy, never wanting for anything, with bright, memorable events in his life, that she was exhausted too and wanted some celebration. I said again that I understood and agreed completely. Then we had an amazing night in bed, like our honeymoon. Guys, if your blood is already boiling from this story, drop a comment. Did you recognize yourself or someone you know? Let's discuss. I thanked the coworker who recommended the therapist, met with my dad, explained this rough patch in our marriage, the adjustment period, told him about my wife's birthday plans, the restaurant, fireworks. Anyway, Dad understood and loaned me the money. The therapist supported the party idea too, explained that maternity leave is a tough phase for women, full of monotony, and a celebration like this could bring us together and help rediscover our family. The birthday turned out great. The restaurant was beautifully decorated. Separate tables for adults and kids. Magic shows, music games. My wife laughed nonstop, snapping photos, posting stories. Her friends were thrilled. The kids loved it. It was an incredible day. I kept seeing the therapist. At the start, I bought a package of 10 sessions on her advice, with a discount. She warned right away not to stop. We needed to monitor the situation and my emotional state. Conflicts at home continued. The grinding didn't stop. Probably the biggest one was when I missed a car payment because I was repaying Dad. And when she found out, she was livid. Again, it was her car. I bought it so she could drive our son to doctor's appointments, daycare. It was her request, crucial for her as a mom. She demanded no more slip-ups from me. I was patient, admitted I messed up, promised it wouldn't happen again. Another detail, the therapist explained that women's manipulation isn't always bad. Some can be useful, and if it's for the family's good, there's nothing wrong with it. Everyone wins. I thought this fit. Her demands were for our son's comfort, and praised my wife for staying calm and keeping dialogue open. Every day I told her I loved her, respected her opinion, wanted happiness for all of us. About a month later, my wife brought up summer vacation planning, asked to book tickets and hotel early. Another huge fight. She picked a 5-star resort abroad, all-inclusive, kids area, own water park. Said our son loved the photos and they wanted that one. Price for 14 days. Flights, good times, transfer, agent fees was insane. Almost 2 of my paychecks. I said no way. Reminded her of the car loan, her classes. I was the only one working. I tried to stay calm, but she was pushy, rude. It got emotional, yelling, out of control. She screamed, insulted me, got dressed, and left for her friends. I stayed home with our son, stressed. She came back around 3 a.m. I hadn't slept, waiting. If the story's hooking you, and you see where it's heading, hit that like button so more guys see this breakdown and avoid James's mistakes. Around then, that night, I started watching men's channels, men's bloggers. I desperately tried to figure it out, find other perspectives, understand what's wrong with my wife, how to influence her. I wanted us happy again. Anyway, she came home at 3 a.m. I tried standing firm, showing who's boss, like those men's bloggers teach. But it backfired. She mocked me and told me to sleep on the couch. I bought another 10 sessions, expensive, but she discounted. I vented, got a lot off my chest about my wife, felt better. Told the therapist about asserting dominance, what men's bloggers say. She smirked and said, "Those guys are all traumatized. Their advice doesn't work, just misleads." I was wasting time. Listen to her. Use only her 100% guaranteed method. She was convincing. I believed her, especially with her psychology degree. I trust professionals. So what did my defender advise? Mirror my wife's behavior, respond in kind, so she'd see her late nights out with friends weren't okay for me as her husband. That evening, after our son was asleep, I got dressed and told her I was heading to a bar with buddies to play pool. No idea when I'd be back. No reaction. Didn't try to stop me. Like she didn't care. It hurt. I went anyway. Not to any bar. Just wandered the cold, windy streets. Ended up at a late movie. Got home around 2 a.m. House dark, quiet. No one waiting. She was sleeping on the couch. We barely spoke. Plus, she started denying intimacy. Therapist suggested mirroring again. Give consequences. I got paid and sent her half what I usually did for her daily stuff. Beauty treatments, glasses. It backfired worse. She said if money's tight, she'd go on the resort vacation with our son without me. Asked me to buy their tickets. Don't delay. No intimacy still. The exchange. Buy the tickets, then maybe you'll get some. I snapped, yelled, started ignoring her. Then, next session or so, I broke down crying from helplessness. She praised me for not bottling emotions. Said all women are good, but narcissistic and self-centered. Nothing you can do. In a crisis, we're smoothing edges. So be patient and use her 100% method. It gave me hope. I left happy, planning the apology text, then got one from her. We're at Mom's, all good. I was sweating, shaking, rushed home. No wife, no son, something's gone. She took him in the car to her mom's while I was at work, some therapy, about 200 miles away. I felt sick, couldn't breathe, chest tight like iron bands, everything ached. Collapsed by the crib, no blanket, pillow, toys. A little shirt on the floor, probably dropped in haste. I picked it up, folded it neatly, and sobbed hard. Longest cry ever. Nightmare no one should go through. Finally pulled myself together, texted therapist. She was busy, replied next day. I could come when free. Called in sick, days without eating, drinking, couldn't get out of bed, crying, scrolling old photos. At session, she diagnosed depression, took wife's action calmly. Normal female psychology. Don't stress too much. Things will improve. Suggested wait a few days, focus on self, avoid social media, new haircut, then call wife end of weekend using her method. It was my only lifeline. I did. Sunday evening, recorded video message. Despite the fight, I fully accept all her complaints, love them both, respect her decision for space. I'm solely to blame. Sorry for everything. Promise to do whatever to save the family. It worked. We started talking slowly. She said, if this hadn't started, I don't know what I'd have done to you. Let me talk to our son. Daddy, I wish you were here. Barely finished, hung up and cried again. Hard. Kept weekly sessions, shared everything, showed messages. She supported emotionally. About a month later, wife and son returned. Met them with new toys, expensive gift for her, smartwatch. We calm, no intimacy. We weren't rushing. Then kitchen talk. She suggested splitting the apartment 50-50, deeding her half. Said fights made her worry about our son's future. Wanted security for him. My action would show seriousness, real love, priority on his future. Apartment was mine, bought pre-marriage, but I agreed. Respected her view, accepted. Went to notary, deeded her share. If you've made it here and see how dangerous these miracle methods are, subscribe so you don't miss more breakdowns and tips to avoid traps. Later, she announced spending whole summer with son at her mom's. Son likes it there. I asked, what about me? You work. Didn't know what to do. Therapist said, be strong. It's a family test. Happens sometimes. Begged her not to go all summer. She did anyway. We messaged, fought. She blocked me. Therapist. Give time when she reaches out. Use the 100% method again. I don't want to wait till summer's end. I want action now. Guys, help. That's the letter, the story. Recognize it? Thanks to James for the courage to share for the channel. So what was this? Main thing. Be extremely careful in trusting your life to strangers, believing miracle methods with 100% guarantees. Nothing against regular therapy. In depression, it's venting, crying, releasing negativity, some relief. But these miracle fixes, mirroring, believing all women are flawless. Can't you see where it turns to bullshit? Why didn't James's critical thinking kick in? They sold him hope, promises of happiness. Classic manipulation. Crooked coaches, mentors, fake therapists love that hook. What separates a real psychologist from a fake? Real one has full in-person higher education, extensive practice. Better yet, a psychiatrist with a dissertation, long career in a reputable clinic. Always vet credentials, not like James. We checked. Typical middle-aged lady calls herself psychologist, but really an accountant. 3 divorces. Recently got a 2-year online psych degree from some sketchy school. Not a real university. Now flaunts it. Pushes her miracle method with 100% results that left James without his apartment. Why didn't she tell James the truth right away? His wife's problematic, entitled princess, narcissistic. Her actions scream selfishness, zero respect for him as a man. That most similar stories end badly. Divorce, fights, property battles. That his marriage was effectively over. Countdown started? Because it's not profitable. Truth doesn't sell session packages, keep clients coming weekly. Instead of waking James, pulling him from the bubble, helping him see clearly, they sold hope. Same as his wife. Dangled happiness to keep him believing, hoping, throwing parties, booking expensive trips, paying for her car, classes. Problematic women often hide self-interest behind family happiness. Their secret weapon. Talking to James, I started with truth. Clinging to the past is pointless. His wife's problematic, dishonest, greedy. No compromise possible. Marriage over. No grinding fixes it. Explained all that nonsense about useful manipulation, tolerating betrayal, always admitting guilt. Total bit the worst unprofessional advice. James asked, "Didn't she want to help me?" Great question. Did the therapist want to help James? Rephrase. Was she invested in his well-being? Opposite, that's the point. Fake therapist wanted recurring problems, so she'd rescue him repeatedly with her cosmetic method, keep sessions going. Why do men drag it out, fall for this? Can't leave first. Easier to swallow the blue pill than the red one. Believe in false hope. Never sell blue pills. Harmful, destructive. I teach facing truth, no matter how bitter. Learn to see clearly. Never downplay chaos, dread loss. Value yourself. Better to admit you picked the wrong partner. Ask, what am I doing here? Then cling to a dead marriage. I say live in reality, not dreams. The therapist, like a spider, lured weakened prey James and drained him dry. When he finally challenged her, mentioned men's bloggers and alternatives, she reacted negatively. Why? Goal. Keep client unhappy recurring, so sessions continue. More money for her vacation home, world trip. She's a problematic woman herself. Typical witch and nice guy mask. Only decent advice ever. Change your hairstyle. But from a 50-year-old accountant raised on soap opera vibes like The Rich Also Cry, what else to expect? Noticing more such stories. Men don't get women. Picking girlfriends, wives, therapists. Keep messing up. Simping cycle. Hope. Try taming problematic wife. Go to problematic therapist. Unknowingly noose themselves, milked by 2 toxic women at once. Disgusting. James pulled himself together, working with a lawyer. Divorce underway. Fighting for car and apartment. He won't just hand over what's his. Bottom line, learn clear-eyed view of the world. Train spotting women's behavior. Get strong and independent. Decide simping's not for you. Never take the blue pill. Manipulation's evil. Stop it. Don't mirror. Walk from problematic women. Don't negotiate. Pick helpers wisely. Take care of yourselves.